So one of the main reasons that what worked in your 20s can no longer work now that you're in your 30s, in your 40s, and in your 50s is because who you are right now is different to who you were. There's this years of ladies that are drinking a glass of wine almost every night or every week because they just feel that it helps them relax. Sis, that's because you've been used to drinking when you were in your 20s and it helped you relax, and you still continue to do it, saying to yourself it helps you relax. Sis, you're damaging your body because the way your body used to work when you were in your 20s and recover so quickly is now different to the way your body is working now. As a woman in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, your body does not need a lot of energy. Body is not asking for more energy because your body is already full of that. What your body needs first thing in the morning from you is regulation. Because our focus is not on our body, our focus is not on our soul or our spirit. Our focus is always on our to-do list, the task, the errands, everything we have to do. So we use that mindset to feed. My name is Titilayo. I'm your identity reset coach, and I help high-achieving women who feel disconnected, burnt out, lost, or unfulfilled return to the true essence of who they really are, so that you can fully live the life that you desire and have the body of your dreams as well. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about why what you ate in your 20s is no longer working and how to fix it, or what you should actually do now. You've been eating in a certain way, the same way you've been eating since when you were 10 years old or 20 years old, and you expect those certain types of food to still work for you the way it worked. Sis, it's not gonna happen. And that is one of the main reasons you are always tired, because you have evolved, you have grown, and your appetite too has grown, your nervous system have grown, it's evolved. A lot of different things have happened in your life, but yet you still kept the same eating pattern as you had when you were 10 years old, 20 years old. Sis, what are you doing? This is a time where we need to refocus. We need to put our attention back to our body. And a lot of the time, people would say, oh, I am actually aware of what I am eating. But where is your awareness coming from? Is your awareness actually coming from what your body, what your nervous system actually needs? Not what your task, not what the situation needs. This is where we need to refocus and realign. Eloquence, just before we continue with the video, I want to use this opportunity to invite you to my Life Reset Workshop. Life Reset Workshop is a space for you to work with me for 2 weeks to see the patterns running your life, to see it, name it, and to change it. Once you know what is running your life, sis, it is easy for you to get what you want. What you want is no longer a debate. It is now yours for the taking. Back to the video. So one of the main reasons that what worked in your 20s can no longer work now that you're in your 30s, in your 40s, and in your 50s is because who you are right now is different to who you were. So I still see where there are a lot of women eating cereal in the morning, having oats packed with so much fruit in the morning, or having smoothies in the morning, or having pastries in the morning, or not even eating anything and they just have so much coffee. Sis, Why are you still eating that way? Are you going to tell me that because that's the way you've been taught, that's what other people are doing, or that's what your body actually needs? Are you sure that that's what your body needs? Or you're just eating because in your mind you think you need energy and you've just decided to go for those certain types of food? And sometimes, even if you don't eat, in your mind, you think your body does not need food. Your body needs adrenaline. Your body needs to wake up. And then you down on so much coffee. I used to do that in my 20s, literally. Like, first thing when I wake up, I would have cereal. And I would go for the sugary cereal just because I could not regulate myself. I had so many things to do. That's the mindset that we've been brought up with. Even as a child, right now, having so much sugary food in the morning, it's not effective for their mind. Like even with my daughter right now, I do not give her cereal or sugary food in the morning. The first meal that she has in the morning is protein. She has chicken. And then she goes to school and she doesn't have any other meal until like during the break where she'll have a little bit of carbohydrate and then that's it. So if a child could adopt or adapt to eating that way, why would it be difficult for you to adopt that way of eating? Because sis, when you start to eat that way, you signal to your body, to your internal source of energy to rise up. And when your internal source of energy comes up to the level that you want, oh sis, that energy is new. That energy is renewed. It's not forced. So let's get into the first problem of why a lot of high achieving women are still eating the same way they ate in their 20s and how you can change that as well. So the first problem is that we have not upgraded or changed our identity. Your body doesn't want to be hopping and jumping the same way you've hopped and jumped during your 20s. Because remember, in your 20s, when you were younger, you were still going through a growth phase. Your brain was still developing, your body was still growing. So your body could handle those stress because there were new growth, new things popping up in your brain, in your body. So your body could handle it. But once you get into your 30, growth begins to cease, it begins to shut down. So your body gets to a point where it's saying, okay, now that we are finished growing, now that things are now stable, let's start regulating. So in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, your body doesn't want all of that rush anymore. Your body now wants regulation. And it is at that time that you need to remember and say to yourself, oh, this is what my body is doing now. This is where you take your focus away from what is demanding your energy and refocus it back to your body within you. And so this is the phase that we are in now. We are no longer growing physically. We are now growing mentally, emotionally, and right now, for us to grow mentally, emotionally, to be resilient, we need regulation. This is where you now change your identity and upgrade your identity as someone that is always regulated. Once you upgrade your identity in that phase to let yourself know that, okay, this is what is required of us. We've stepped into a new era. This is where you start doing your research and start thinking of what would work, what would not work, how will my body respond to certain types of food. You do not just go online, force yourself to do one type of diet or to eat a certain way someone is eating. You can do your research, look at how people are eating, then commit to making one little change. And when you make the change, you make it gradually. You don't put a whole lot of change on your body because you want to see how your body reacts and responds. And then you decide how to move from it. And this is how you change what you are eating to suit your identity and the new phase of your life. Right now, because your body is no longer growing physically, your nervous system at this point is now very sensitive. It's sensitive to the balance between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. And your nervous system just wants some calm and regulation within it. So any little food that does not rhyme or work with the face of which you are, your body would react, and that reaction could be intensive, that you might start thinking, oh, I'm unwell, oh, I don't know why this certain spot is appearing on my body, oh, I just feel so tired, oh, I'm having constant headache, oh, all of a sudden my eyes are not working as they used to work. I can't see things clearly. See, those are signals from your nervous system telling you that you are out of balance, and your nervous system wants balance. Your nervous system wants regulation. So sis, these are the key time that you pay attention more to what you're feeding your body. A lot of sisters will just go straight into medication because we have been conditioned and trained that medication is the solution. Sis, medication most of the time delays our responsive system so that we don't feel the pain most of the time. Not all medication works in a way that gives you the solution to whatever is happening in your body. And if the medication is going to actually work for you, the medication is like an artificial stimulant to awake the healing process within you so that it could work properly. But after a while, that medication would stop working. That is why the best way to heal yourself is through your natural healing process, which is already inbuilt in our body. You feel it in your body. You start seeing appearances and different things coming up on your face, coming up on your skin that does not require any stimulant or drink that would help you relax. And this is why I am now inviting you to my life reset workshop, because in my life reset workshop, we are going to do an audit on your life to see the things that are no longer aligning with you, that are also limiting you from being your best self, so that you can let them go with peace, not with struggle, but with peace, so that you can rebuild the new things in your life that will elevate you and help you become the best version of yourself. The last bit that changes when you are over 30 is that your blood sugar is key. The balancing of your blood sugar is so crucial. And that is why I spoke about carbohydrates. And one thing that I have actually noticed right now that I am in my 40s is that carbohydrates begin to work differently for me. When I was in my 30s, I could eat so much carbohydrate, have so much energy, and do not have a crash. Now that I am in my 40s, I can no longer eat carbohydrate the way I used to do because, firstly, I don't work out like I used to work out in my 30s. I am not always on the go like I used to be when I was in my 30s. And things are just totally different. So my body is now reacting differently. And even if I still live the same way when I was in my 30s, my body will still react differently because my body goes through different stages. And there is a time for slowing down, there is a time for regulation, there is a time to pick up speed again. And right now, in my 40s, it is time for regulation. So, blood sugar actually matters. And the thing that I have now realized being in my 40s is that when I eat so much carbohydrate, especially before bed, oh, sis, I am drenched in sweat. I don't have hot flashes, and a lot of people at this point will call it perimenopausal effect. I refuse to call it that. It might be it, but I'm not going to attach any meaning to it. I'm just going to respond to what my body is saying to me, and I'm going to work from that feedback. So at this point, I know some women are going to be like, oh, you need medication. Sis, I'm not that kind of a person that resorts to medication. Medication is the last thing I resort to. I first of all sort it out within me. Okay. So, one thing I've realized is that when I was in my 30s, I could sleep. If I eat more carbohydrates, most of the time I will reserve more of my carbohydrate towards the evening, and it allows me to sleep peacefully, effectively. I'll be so rested, full of energy, bounce back again. But sis, I started realizing and became aware that on days that I ate a little bit heavy carbohydrate towards the evening, or maybe throughout the day, I've been having heaps and heaps of carbohydrate, I still feel drenched with sweat at night. And this realization made me realize, oh, Titilayo, you cannot keep eating in the same way you ate in your 30s. Even though you have reduced your carbohydrate, you need to drop that mentality, thinking to yourself that carbohydrate will make you sleep better, because that's just another illusion that I bought into. And I stopped. I reduced the amount of carbohydrate that I eat. And guess what? That allows me to sleep peacefully and wake up so early. Don't even set alarms anymore. So, sis, if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you need to start changing. And the best way changing all of that is awareness. Awareness on what your body needs right now, not what the society, not what your circumstances, not what your roles, not what your responsibility needs, but what your body needs. And you grow through that phase of your season. All right, my queen, if you like to learn more, I would urge you to join the Life Reset, whereby we can fully reset your identity to match your current season of your life, so that you can easily achieve all your goals, all your visions with ease and balance. All right, my queens, I shall see you in the next video.